Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're new here. I'm Akira and I don't know if this is technically my corner. So I know if you're not new here, I have a lot to explain because you're probably wondering what's going on, and I'll just explain. So this is the first edition of my chit chat or my chats or my confessions or whatever videos that I'm going to be doing that are more personal to me. I'm gonna film it on my bed and probably with the blanket and in my pajamas. So I know I have a full face of makeup on, but that's only because I filmed another video earlier today. But the more personal videos I'm probably gonna film in my personal space, in my comfort zone, so that I'm more comfortable. I really hope you guys enjoy these more personal videos. I just wanted to share some of my personal experiences when it's come to certain things in my life. So one of the biggest stories, or one of the biggest things that have happened to me, is just kind of how high school really just shaped me and shaped my personality. I'm sure like you clicked on this and you saw the title and you thought it was a lie, but I'm essentially gonna get into a story where I was told that I wasn't pretty enough to date. Something for me that is just, yeah, it's still something I'll never forget. I'm not going to be naming or shaming anyone in the scenario, and I'm not actually friends with anyone in this scenario anymore, so it's not like I have any hard feelings towards anyone, and it's not like I want to shame anyone or anything. I'm just gonna tell you. I started new school in grade 10 in Pretoria in grade 10. So I start a new school, I make some friends, and one day I see this guy, and for some reason, looking back, I don't know why, but for some reason I found him really attractive, I found him really cute. And let's say for this example, his name is Sam, right? So I see Sam and I'm like, oh, Sam is pretty cute. But there was no real way for me to speak to Sam because Sam was a grade above me, and I was like, okay, I don't know how to speak to Sam. We don't really have mutual friends. I don't know how this is gonna work. And eventually I ended up speaking to Sam because of my best friend. I need a name for her now. Nicola, right? So one day Nicola was speaking to Sam and she calls me over and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And she knows like I'm crushing on Sam, and she leaves me alone with Sam. So she's like, speak to him, you know, get his number, do what you need to do. So I was like, okay, cool. So at school I speak to Sam. It was super awkward, I was super nervous, I was like losing my mind on the inside. I spoke to Sam. I guess somehow we got each other's numbers or mixed numbers, or I don't even remember the detail, but basically we spoke to each other. We had each other on Mixit, and I don't really know about the in-between part. Sam and I eventually spoke. Eventually, at some point we spoke. At some point I was like, okay, Sam is not interested in me because, you know, he didn't make a move. I thought he was into me. You know, I think he even at one point like joked and said he would take me to his matric dance because when I was in grade 11 he was a matric. So I think at one point he like joked and said, you know, I could take you as my date, and I was like, oh, he's into me. But then at the same time he wasn't. It was such a confusing time of my life. I honestly, for that time, and to be honest, I wasn't a looker. I just looked like such a rough child. So I honestly thought like, okay, he's just not into me. And I eventually at some point decided like, I'm gonna cut my losses, and you know what, like I'm not gonna do this anymore. But I was that type of person, like when I would see Sam come online and Mixit, I would get butterflies because I would be like, oh my god, I need to say something to him. Like I was so stupid in high school, I can't even explain. Like my friends know how bad I was. Like I feel so sorry for them because I'm pretty sure all they heard for that portion in my life was just about this guy. And like I feel so sorry for them because now he's just so irrelevant that I'm just like, really Akira? Another thing I want to add before we completely move over to the next portion of the story, Sam's friends were like very invasive. Like his friends used to come to me all the time and used to be like, oh, are you into Sam? Oh, have you spoken to Sam? Oh, have you seen Sam? they were like weirdly, like, I don't know, attached to, I don't even know what that is, but like his friends used to literally come and bug me all the time about him, and like it would make me like even more, like, I don't know, nervous and insecure about the whole situation. You know when people like muddle in your issues and they just make situations worse? That's what his friends used to do. A year later, I was in matric. I was the ugly duckling that became the beautiful swan, because I reached matric and my braces came off, and it was like immediate glow up. Like my braces came off and I was like, yes, queen. Matric comes along, Sam is in university, my life is good, fresh start, new Akira. the beautiful swan Akira is out here. So Nicola was friends with one of Sam's close friends. Now let's name the close friend John. So Nicola is friends with John. John is friends with Sam. So Nicola and John spoke the one day about the way Sam and I had our little situation that wasn't even anything. John tells Nicola, listen Nicola, do you know that Sam really liked Akira though? And Nicola was like, no, he didn't. Like, he is giving her mixed signals the whole time. Like, he was literally playing around with her. That's why, like, the whole situation blew over. And he was like, no, Sam really liked her, but he was told not to date her. So she was like, what do you mean, like, he was told not to date her? He says, no, Sam's friends told Sam that Akira isn't pretty enough for him to date. Hope. So this for me in high school firstly did double damage, because firstly in the whole situation, at the end of it, I really felt unwanted, undesired, you know, that type of feeling where like, oh, I guess, you know, I'm just not good enough. And then this comes out while I'm in matric, and I learned that actually it's because his friends thought that I literally was not good enough, and that I literally was not pretty enough. And I don't even know, like I was just so lost for words at that point. Like, you cannot even console yourself about that. Like, who honestly tells their friend you cannot date someone because they're not pretty enough for you? Obviously Sam in himself, like, who takes that advice? Like, this was the reason for someone to stop having an interest in me, because I wasn't pretty enough for them. Even till today, like, a lot of people ask me, you know, Akira, why can't you take compliments? Like, you're so beautiful, and people tell you you look nice, why do you not accept it? Like, you need to accept that you're beautiful, and you need to accept your beauty, and you need to accept, you know, who you are and all that stuff. And I'm like, I can see who I am. I know what I look like. I know what my body looks like. I know what my face looks like. I know what I am. But there's just something about, I guess, being demeaned or degraded to a point that you just don't know how to genuinely accept those type of compliments. You don't know, like, if this person is being real or not, if this person is just saying it for the sake of saying it, or if they actually genuinely mean it. I think a big foundation of me not being able to accept compliments that people give me about my appearance is because I just don't believe it, because for the longest time I had no reason to believe it, and people gave me a reason to not believe it. I just thought I would share something that was quite real in my life, and I guess it still is, and I don't know, it's something that I'd never forget. And at the same time, I mean, it was just something that really affected me as a person, because I had a lot, I guess, I wouldn't say going on at the time, but mentally I was facing a lot at that time, because I was very unhappy at that point in my life. And to have that on top of everything, I just never really learned like what self-love was and self-worth. I guess the moral of the story is, whatever you're going through and whatever people say about you, it's not something that defines you. And I know that obviously for a long time it took me a while to realize this, which is why I'm telling you this well after I've realized it myself. So I know that it's something that you have to reach the point where you realize it yourself. But if this makes it click in someone, even if it's one person, makes it click that what other people say about you and what other people think about you does not define you. What they think and what they say is not what you are. And you cannot make it what you are. You are more than that. You are always what you want yourself to be, and you're always what you make yourself. That's just the biggest thing for me that I had to learn over the years. And I guess as a 24-year-old woman, I can now say that I've learned quite a bit, and I know that I have quite a lot still to learn. I'm not saying that I know everything now. I know that I have a lot to learn, and I have a big journey ahead of me beyond this. But I just hope that this helps anyone that genuinely feels on the inside sometimes like they're not enough and they could never be enough, or they're not beautiful, or I don't know, they're not skinny enough, or they're not muscular enough, or something like that. Like, I just think that if someone says that about you, you should never take it to heart that way. You should never feel that way because someone says that. It is different if you, in your own way, think, you know what, this weekend I'm gonna do my eyebrows because they're out of shape, or this weekend I'm gonna do some squats because I want to look a certain way. That's different when it comes from yourself, but not when it comes from a comment or the way that someone else thinks of you, the way that someone else feels about you. That should never happen. So I really hope that this somehow helps. I really hope you like this more personal type of video, and if you do want to see more personal videos, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if there's anything else that you want to see. I know that this was like a random story, but it's something that I really wanted to share for a while now. I hope that I'll see you in my next video, and yeah, thank you so much for watching, and oh, please subscribe if you haven't already, and bye.